how's it going? Welcome back and welcome to my review of the Ridgid 12 volt multi-crafter oscillating tool. So I finally got my 12 volter yesterday. Some of you know, a lot of you know, I work on RV trailers for a living with my boss, and have a blast. I love my job. It's probably the best job I've ever had so far in my life, but I really love it. And I love tools, as a lot of you guys know too. Anyways, so the 18 volter, I got a bunch of tools on the table for a reason. But the 18 volter, it's a great machine. I really do say it is a great machine. I really love it. It's just not practical for working on RV trailers in the small areas. Probably in bigger areas, no problem. It does work actually quite well. My boss actually took this one for a spin yesterday. This 12 volter gets into every area almost of an RV trailer that you can imagine. Almost. I mean, none of them ever will get into every little stitching area. But this one certainly does far superior than what this one does because of the size difference. Okay, has nothing to do with voltage, has nothing to do with runtime, has to do with physical size. And I tend to agree because I got a chance to use my 18 volter in a couple areas and I just couldn't do it. I had to grab his 12. And now I got my own 12, and so this is going to be mine for at work. The 18 is going to stay here for this shop doing whatever. These things can be used for more than just working with wood. They can be used for working with metals and etc. etc. Okay, so they're a great tool. There's a lot of different types of heads you can buy for these things too. You can get the reciprocating saw head, the jigsaw head, right angle drill driver, auto hammer, ratchet, right angle impact driver, and a rotary head. So you have different head attachments. Now this is something I haven't seen from any of the other companies. Ridgid does it though. And the other thing that they did was they made an allowance so you can take the head off and you can switch it to this way or have the blade facing this way, so you always have full trigger control, okay, and the best comfort too for using the tool. This is also, you know, it's very well balanced. You know, this one's nice too. You know, it's pretty good balance and it's a nice grip on it, which is nice. So you're not going to get fatigued too easily with this. But like I said, this is too big for working on trailers with on small areas. But this takes care of all the areas of the trailer really well. So this is a great little tool for that. So we're going to give you a test spin of it. Now the trick to using any of these tools properly is don't put a lot of pressure. Let the tool do most of the work. Don't put a lot of pressure on it because you're just going to stop it from doing its job, period. So that doesn't matter what brand you're working with. Cuts through rather rapidly, I think. Now the blade, of course, isn't quite as wide as the board. This is why you got to kind of go up and down a little bit. And if you put a little bit of sine action in with it as you're cutting, it does make the cut go a lot faster too. You know, you don't just sit there and, you know, let the thing go nuts and not push into it. But you don't put very much pressure. It's very light pressure is all you need. Very light. Because if you go too heavy, you'll know, because it just won't be cutting right. You'll be thinking, oh, this is a crappy tool, or my blade is shot. No, it's operator error at that point, because you're pushing too stupidly hard. Anyway, another question I know I would get asked, so I'm going to solve that for you right now. This is my 12 volt Ridgid drill set. Take the battery out. Works perfect. It's supposed to. That's the way it goes. They're fully compatible that way. The other nice thing too, other than the toolless head on this that has the magnets, which is great, it has a fuel gauge now. So you just click the button once and the fuel gauge is there. So I'll show you see if I can get this to get into frame here. I don't know how well you're going to see that. Okay, but you got a fuel gauge. Something they didn't have before, which is nice because then you got a pretty good idea. Oh, that's what's going on. Because these things also have overload protection too, so if you overload them, they will shut down on you until they cool off. So you can now check the fuel gauge and go, oh, got lots of battery power. I was pushing the tool too hard. Now I got to let the thing cool down, and it comes back into operation. Which is something, I mean, once in a while, I mean, we all get stupid and we overload our tool. At least this has a protection in it where, you know, it'll shut down. Kind of like the batteries too. If you take the battery out, you've just totally exhausted it because you've been going, yeah, and you'd kill it. You put it in the charger and it's like, hey, hello. Okay, it's being told that the battery is too hot and it's going to wait until the temperature cools a bit, and then it'll start charging it. So there you go. A charger is also smart enough to tell you when your battery is defective as well. You know, which is good. At least you know. Now, with the lifetime service agreement, you get 90 days to register it. And that's something you do. You start it online. Now, for us Canadians, it's a two-stage process. First, you go and you're registered online. Then they send you an email saying, oh, sorry, we can't seem to find, you know, and can you send us all this stuff and blah, 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 blah. So you got to keep your original receipt too, which you would need anyways. So make a photocopy of it and scan it into your computer, because we all know how thermal paper just kind of kills itself in about 3 months or more. So always photocopy your receipts, and you send them what they want you to send them in the mail. And just send it regular mail. You don't have to register mail, because we don't have registered mail in Canada anymore anyhow. So just send a regular mail. They'll get it, no problem. Once they get it and they register you for LSA, they will send you another email saying that you are now covered under LSA for your tool and all of its accessories. Yes, because it covers your head, it covers your tool, it covers your battery, it covers your charger. It's all covered, okay? In fact, they have a little mission statement piece of paper in with your instructions about your lifetime service agreement. And it says, right in here in black and white, this unprecedented protection covers all defects in workmanship and materials and normal wear items for the lifetime of the original registered tool owner. Okay, only. Example, items include brushes, chucks, motors, switches, cords, gears, and even, yes, batteries, O-rings. Now, piston stops and driver blades are only covered on pneumatic nailers and staplers. So, and there's more paperwork to read over your warranty with, and other booklets, and jibber jabber, and all that other stuff. You can also get a 4-amp battery, 12 volt, that'll work in any of the 12 volt Ridgid tools. Okay, they got the 2 amps that come with them, or you get the 4 amp. You can get replacement 2 amp batteries too, and they've just lowered the prices at Home Depot on the 2 amp 12 volt batteries, and they also lowered the price too on one of their 18 volter, I believe it was a 2 amp as well. So which is good, batteries are getting cheaper. Woohoo! Love it. So anyways, the sanding kit is nice too. I've used the sanding kit myself, and it works great. I love the sanding kits. So you get some basics, and then you start building your collection of heads if you want to, or just your collection of blades and stuff. Now, for those of you who are in Canada, I'm going to make mention of this. If you want the sweetest deal on replacement sanding pads, hook and loop, for your Ridgid tool, you go to Canadian Tire and you get an 18-pack for under 10 bucks. And it gives you 3 different grits. You get 80, 120, and 240. You can also get specific stuff from like DeWalt and other companies for specific only grits for other purposes. But you're going to pay, of course, and you're going to get whatever. I'm going to check out online more for better deals on the sandpaper, just because, you know, I mean, there is some sandpaper out there that, let's face it, it sucks. But the only way to find out too is to buy it and try it, right? It's the same as the sanding heads. The Ridgid's got a pretty good head. I kind of blew my first one up a little bit, but that was my own stupidity. The Mastercraft one is fine, but like I said, you got to crazy glue the sucker onto the base because the built-in glue doesn't work. The rock one is garbage. Don't buy the rock one. The Ridgid one is pretty good. Anyway, overall, it's a great tool. I love the toolless head system on either one of these. I mean, my first experience with toolless head was my 18. My boss's, his was one with the Allen key. He actually has this one now too with the toolless head. You know, this is like too quick and easy. You know, just changing blades or changing positions. One thing you got to remember is to flip that key back over, and away you go. And now you can start making your cut here. You can do here, you know, type of thing. Great tool, you know. I've looked at a lot of these multi-tools for a long time, and the Ridgid is definitely the way to go. You're getting the best bang for your buck. I mean, $147 for this, you know, $109 for this one, but you got to buy your own battery and charger, okay? This one is $180, and it doesn't even cut very well. So, yeah, Mastercraft, definitely not very good. Okay, great sander, though. Great sander. These drills are awesome, but we're not talking about drills today. I've got a review on these two. But I brought these drills out just to show you that the batteries do cross over, and, you know, the fuel gauge on here is great, too. You've got a fuel gauge so you can, you know, keep an eye on your battery level now, which you couldn't do before on this particular tool. Fuel gauge is built into the battery on the 18-volter. But, yeah, definitely big bang for the buck. I would love to say it's perfect. I'd love to say 5-star, you know, but I'm going to stick with the realistic part of life, and that's 4.5 out of 5 is just great there. And, you know, highly recommend it. You know, especially if you're a trailer repair industry like what I do, I would recommend this over any of them. Okay, I recommend it over the 18-volter too. Now the 18-volter is great for big spots in trailers, okay, and it's a little heavier duty, but they seem to cut equally as well. You know, this just means, I guess, you know, a little heavier duty. It's, I don't know, maybe it's got a little bit more powerful motor because it's 18 volts, but I find they both equally cut as well. So, you know, but this gets you into areas in trailers that you will not get into with this one. And this is where I went wrong, thinking, well, bigger is better, more power, you know, more heavier duty, longer lasting perhaps, maybe, who knows, the only way you know is over time. But yeah, turns out it's just too long and bulky for working on the trailers with in small areas, and this one gets into all those areas. Now, the other thing too is you got forward and reverse. That's for your drill head attachments and stuff. You can change the direction. Well, you can change it even with this if you wanted to. It doesn't really make any matter. You've got a separate button here for your light, so you can keep your finger off the trigger, or you can just use your pinky, okay, to activate the light ahead of time and get into that right angle first. So you know, the other thing is you can touch the trigger to put the light on too. We'll just wait till that shuts off. But you can just touch the trigger. This one doesn't have a separate button for the LED on this one. It's just here, where this one is there and it's also here. But this one, I guess they figured, well, you know, because of the size of it, maybe they'd just like to have a button here to activate it with. And very super bright LEDs on either one. So anyways, guys, that's all I got for you. So I really thank you for your patience, and hope you enjoyed this video. And you know, hey, if you're looking for one of them, you got options. But for us people that work on RV trailers, this is definitely the best one, is this 12-volter. And just buy yourself a spare battery or two, and you know, away you go. Anyways, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one. Bye.